WOGL HD3 Philadelphia from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. The revolution will be broadcast. This is the next generation of talk. Now, this is The Drive at 5. 30 minutes of non-stop talk with Rich Zeoli.
And I'm Mary Walter, sitting in for Rich Zeoli. It's been so much fun spending my week with you. It really has. And let's talk about that a little bit with our next guest, Marc Rudov. He's a branding advisor to CEOs. He's the author of 3 books on branding: Be Unique or Be Ignored, Brand is Destiny, and Intra Branding. He's also a media commentator. You can find him on Twitter at Marc, M-A-R-C, Rudov, R-U-D-O-V. Marc, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Good to be here, Mary. And don't forget, you can find me at markrudov.com.
There you go. You had tweeted out, America's brand is dead. The tyrannocrats killed it. What do you mean by that?
Well, the tyrannocrats, a.k.a. the Democrats, have destroyed what was our old brand, liberty, prosperity, and justice, and turned it into the new brand of tyranny, poverty, and iniquity. You know, the demo in Democrats is Greek for people. They're not about people at all. They're about destroying this country, and they're doing a very good job of it. And I've said many times on the air before that because Joe is corrupt and compromised, he has no choice but to destroy America, because the people who have given him money from foreign countries have all the goods on him and Hunter, and they'll release all that information if he doesn't destroy America. And I think the number one enforcer of that is Xi Jinping. So if you everywhere you look, the economy's bad. We've lost a lot of rights. The mugshot last night was the last straw, as I indicated in my tweet, that the judicial system is completely broken. It doesn't even work anymore. We have a 2-tiered judicial system. The Democrats can do whatever the hell they want, and the Republicans can't even do what the Democrats have done in the past, which is to contest an election. And so we see the result of that. And they had to dishonor Donald Trump by taking a mugshot and making a big deal of it. Now, he's turned it around by he's selling T-shirts and bumper stickers and coffee mugs, as he would do. But it's still, if you look back and take Trump out of the equation and just look at the presidency, it's a disgrace. The leaders around the world are laughing at us.
Absolutely. You know, Charlie Kirk tweeted out earlier this week. He said, for you keeping score at home, we now have the local DCDA investigating the number one funder for conservative political causes on the right. We have the local Westchester DA investigating James O'Keefe, trying to put him in prison. We have the local Manhattan DA indicting Trump for an unprecedented crime, in quotes, and trying to indict his whole family. We have the local Fulton DA indicting Trump and 18 conservatives. We have the Michigan AG targeting 16 alternate electors, and not a single Republican DA or AG has the stones to investigate or indict the criminals on the left. This is why you're losing your country. So what does this say to the rest of the world?
Well, as I just said, Mary, the leaders around the world and even the citizens around the world are laughing at us. And Kevin McCarthy, what does he say? We might impeach Joe Biden. We're thinking about impeaching Joe Biden. We're considering impeaching Joe Biden. We're looking into impeaching Joe Biden. They have more than enough evidence to do that, but they're timid. They're walking on eggshells. And when it comes push to shove, the Democrats don't even think about anything. They just do it. They act. Right. And they act in a way that is, as I said before, disgracing this country. Yeah. And if you think about somebody who's 18, 19, 20 years old, what is there to live for here? Now, I just got off the air on Newsmax, and I had a debate with Dennis Neal, and he thinks, we still are the shining city on a hill. And I said, no, we're a dumpster fire. Look at every blue city in this country. You have people on the streets, writhing in pain with needles sticking out of their arms. I used to live in the Bay Area of California. If you go into San Francisco now, which I would never do, you have human feces on the street, and the Democrats are fine with it. Businesses are moving out. Citizens are moving out. I left California in 2019. And since then, almost 1 million people have also left because it's a disaster. New York's a disaster. Philadelphia, where this show is airing, is the Kensington area. I mean, in Baltimore, Washington, D.C., just name them. The chief of police in Austin just quit. He can't take it anymore. All the blue cities are the same. And because they're all in cahoots and they want to destroy what America has been and rebuild it into their dystopia. So the Republicans have always been lousy at fighting back until Trump came along. And a lot of Republicans don't like Trump because he embarrasses them. He shows them what fighting really looks like, and they don't want to do it. So that's really where we are, Mary.
Right. And Kevin McCarthy wants to launch not an impeachment, but an impeachment inquiry is what he's talking about. So it wouldn't even be a full-blown impeachment. It would be an impeachment inquiry. The nice thing about an impeachment inquiry, which is why I don't understand why they haven't done it, is that it allows them subpoena power for a lot more material than they currently can get. And that's the importance of that.
Well, I've said before on the air, on Newsmax, that the reason that Republicans cave to Democrats all the time is because most of them have liberal wives. And the liberal wives tell them what to do. And when I said that, I got emails from all over America telling me I was spot on. Mm-hmm. So, again, even with an inquiry, Mary, we might do it. We're thinking about doing it. We probably should do it. It's not, damn it, we're going to do it and we're going to fry his butt. No, they just don't talk that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's other things that are happening too, as well here. When you talk about what's happening as far as the silencing and the branding of America, we're no longer known as a place for free speech. You have this happening every day. I was just talking about a Christian church that's being debanked by Bank of America. They told Fox News that the accounts were closed due to, quote, its internal debt collection policy that the bank I guess the church has that does not support that service. The bank declined to provide a copy of the policy to Fox News. And they say religious factors are not a factor in any account closing decision. So we see all this. We know what the branding of America is. That's your specialty. So what do you tell America? How do you change this brand? Donald Trump, to me, is like the best marketer ever. To your point, we talked about this earlier, and we said this days ago that he's going to take the mugshot, he's going to slap it on merchandise, and he's going to sell it and raise money for his campaign, which is precisely what he's doing. He's a fantastic marketer. So we know he knows what to do. Other than fighting and those things that we talk about all the time, how does the marketing come in?
Well, okay, let's review again my tweet. The old brand was liberty, prosperity, and justice. And you gave an example of Bank of America taking away liberty. We have, because of the phony Bidenomics, which I call pseudonomics, we have a lot of people who are heading into poverty, if not already there. The prices of everything have risen since Joe Biden entered the Oval Office, and the judicial system doesn't exist anymore. So how do you reverse that? Well, I did say in my tweet, and I said on Newsmax earlier today, that only one guy can turn it around, and it's Trump. Now, don't forget, the brand, and I say it right at markrudov.com on the homepage, branding is not about awareness. It's about connection. So the connection that people had to America was, this is the place of freedom. This is the place of prosperity where we can make it. We can realize the American dream, and we will get a fair shake in court, no matter who we are. I mean, it wasn't true in 100% of cases, but it was true in the majority of cases. Now we don't have any of that. We have no liberty, we don't have prosperity anymore, and we have iniquity. So unless somebody like Trump can come in, put the brakes on the new brand, throw it out, clean house in the executive branch, get rid of the head, get rid of Christopher Wray, get rid of Merrick Garland, get rid of the head of the CIA. His name is blanking on me, but just clean house, get rid of it, and clean also the middle branches where all the technocrats work, and create all the regulations. These unelected bureaucrats who are destroying our country. Also, there's a lot of work to be done, and also Vivek Ramaswamy also talks about doing the same thing, cleaning house and getting rid of that. If you don't do that, if you don't get rid of the termites, the building will fall down. So it sounds simple, but if you don't, and nobody on that stage has the gravitas and the experience to do it. I know Vivek is very smart and very highly accomplished, but frankly, he doesn't have the gravitas to pull it off. And the reason that they're not afraid of him, but they are afraid of Trump, is because they, the tyrannocrats, know that Trump can do all of that, and they don't want him to do it. Right. So unless he comes back and rearranges the deck chairs on the sinking Titanic, we're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you also have the useful idiots who are sitting there cheering all of this because they're Democrats. They hate Trump. We hate Trump. They just hate him for whatever reason, because TDS Israel, these people really are sick. Their brains are truly broken. And they would elect anyone but Trump, even if Trump came by, if they were drowning in the ocean and he came by on his yacht and tried to save them, they wouldn't want to be saved by him because he's Hitler. They would rather drown. So as long as you have, 50% of the country who feels that way, it does not bode well for the USS America. Marc Rudov, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. He's a branding advisor to CEOs. He's the author of 3 books on branding: Be Unique or Be Ignored, Brand is Destiny, and Intra-Branding. He's a media commentator, as you heard. You can find him on his webpage, markrudov.com, MarcRudov, and Twitter at Marc Rudov. Did I miss anything? I think I got it all.
I think you got it all, Mary.
All right. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic weekend. I appreciate it.
You too. My pleasure.